What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Dr. D Fields. And before we get into anything, man, make sure you like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Say what's up. Say what you want to. Say what's on your mind. But hey, today we got the triple OG, George Carlin on pro-life. I tried to upload a Joey Diaz video, and that bitch got blocked. So, I'm gonna have to find some other videos to do. Drop down in the comments, man. I'll get to them. But if they get blocked, I'm sorry. It's just copyright shit. It's kind of whack, but hey, less talking, more watching, like always, man. Deep breath, gang. And all my George Carlin fans out there, man. Like always, man. Let's get into it.
Thank you. Thank you. Why is it that most of the people who
I don't know, I couldn't find one with the Spanish not on there. I think I clicked the wrong one, but
are against abortion are people you wouldn't want to fuck in the first place, huh?
A lot of ugly people are gonna be hated, are gonna hate that statement. You're not ugly. Nobody's ugly, man. You just gotta find that right person. I take back what I just said. Just gotta find the right person for you, man. Bless up.
Boy, these conservatives are really something, aren't they? They're all in favor of the unborn. They will do anything for the unborn. But once you're born, you're on your own.
Yeah. That's the thing, man. If we're just straight pro-life, no killing, no abortions, okay, so if the parents are unfit, what are we doing with the children? I mean, you could say don't have a child in the first place, but life happens, man. What are we going to do with the children? Adoption centers, foster homes, those places are not always great, so we need to fund those more. And I don't know if people will do that. If you're gonna say pro-life, you have to have these alternatives and shit. So
pro-life conservatives are obsessed with the fetus from conception to 9 months. After that, they don't want to know about you. They don't want to hear from you. No, nothing. No neonatal care, no daycare, no Head Start, no school lunch, no food stamps, no welfare, no nothing. If you're pre-born, you're fine. If you're preschool, you're fucked. You're fucked.
Not all born rich, man. That's all it is.
Conservatives don't give a shit about you until you reach military age. Then they think you are just fine, just what they've been looking for. Conservatives want live babies so they can raise them to be dead soldiers. Pro-life. Pro-life. These people aren't pro-life, they're killing doctors. What kind of pro-life is that? What, they'll do anything they can to save a fetus, but if it grows up to be a doctor, they just might have to kill it? They're not pro-life. You know what they are? They're anti-woman. Simple as it gets. Anti-woman. They don't like them. They don't like women. They believe a woman's primary role is to function as a broodmare for the state. Pro-life. You don't see many of these white anti-abortion women volunteering to have any black fetuses transplanted into their uteruses, do you? No, you don't see them adopting a whole lot of crack babies, do you? No, that might be something Christ would do. And
I'm telling you, if Jesus was alive today, conservatives would hate him. I think a lot of the world will hate him because he is selfless, according to the Bible, and he will do anything to help anyone. And he don't care about money, according to the Bible, you know. Motherfuckers would hate him. It sounds like my type of guy, but a good majority of people, or wealthy people, you know, people above and shit, they're money hungry and they don't give a fuck about people for real, if it's not benefiting them or the economy. So I feel like a lot of that's why they killed him, I guess, you know. Fuck.
you won't see a lot of these pro-life people dousing themselves in kerosene and lighting themselves on fire. You know, morally committed religious people in South Vietnam knew how to stage a goddamn demonstration, didn't they? Huh? Hey. They knew how to put on a fucking protest. Light yourself on fire! Come on, you moral crusaders, let's see a little smoke to match that fire in your belly. Here's another question I have. How come when it's us, it's an abortion, and when it's a chicken, it's an omelet?
This human life is different.
Wait. What? Are we so much better than chickens all of a sudden? When did this happen, that we passed chickens in goodness? Name 6 ways we're better than chickens. See, nobody can do it. You know why? Because chickens are decent people. You don't see chickens hanging around in drug gangs, do you? You don't see a chicken strapping some guy to a chair and hooking up his nuts to a car battery, do you? When's the last chicken you heard about came home from work and beat the shit out of his hen, huh? Doesn't happen. Because chickens are decent people. But let's get back to this abortion shit. Now, is a fetus a human being? This seems to be the central question. Well, if a fetus is a human being, how come the census doesn't count them? If a fetus is a human being, how come when there's a miscarriage, they don't have a funeral? If a fetus is a human being, how come people say we have 2 children and 1 on the way, instead of saying we have 3 children? People say life begins at conception. I say life began about 1 billion years ago, and it's a continuous process. Continuous, just keeps rolling along. Rolling along.
Think about it. There's so many other planets and other galaxies. It's crazy to think that there could be life over there, and they're going through the same thing. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe they're more advanced, or maybe they're not more advanced. That's the craziest shit about life, man. We don't know what the fuck's happening outside of Earth. We don't really know. The moon, barely. Mars, barely. I hope we can witness a fucking interstellar, like, fucking space war. I'd like to see that. That shit would be lit.
I say, you know something?
Lit. You can't
Listen,
deny.
you can go back further than that. What about the carbon atoms? Huh? Human life could not exist without carbon. So is it just possible that maybe we shouldn't be burning all this coal? Just looking for a little consistency here in these anti-abortion arguments. See, the really hardcore people will tell you life begins at fertilization. Fertilization when the sperm fertilizes the egg, which is usually a few moments after the man says, gee, honey, I was going to pull out, but the phone rang and it startled me. Fertilization. But even after the egg is fertilized, it's still 6 or 7 days before it reaches the uterus and pregnancy begins, and not every egg makes it that far. 80% of a woman's fertilized eggs are rinsed and flushed out of her body once a month during those delightful few days she has.
I need to learn about
They
that.
wind up on sanitary
Crazy.
napkins, and yet they are fertilized eggs. So basically what these anti-abortion people are telling us is that any woman who's had more than 1 period is a serial killer. Consistency.
Shit, technically, if some motherfuckers think jacking off is killing, like, sperm, murders. Some people think that. Dead ass. It's crazy.
Consistency. Hey,
Crazy.
hey, if they really want to get serious, what about all the sperm that are wasted when the state executes a condemned man and one of these pro-life guys who's watching comes in his pants, huh? Here's a guy standing over there with his jockey shorts full of little Vinnies and Debbies, and nobody's saying a word to the guy. Not every ejaculation deserves a name. Now,
That's funny.
speaking of consistency, Catholics, which I was until I reached the age of reason, Catholics and other Christians are against abortions, and they're against homosexuals. Well, who has less abortions than homosexuals? Leave these fucking people alone, for Christ's sakes. Here is an entire class of people guaranteed never to have an abortion. And the Catholics and Christians are just tossing them aside. You'd think they'd make natural allies. Go look for consistency in religion. And speaking to my friends, the Catholics, when John Cardinal O'Connor of New York and some of these other cardinals and bishops have experienced their first pregnancies and their first labor pains and they've raised a couple of children on minimum wage, then I'll be glad to hear what they have to say about abortion. I'm sure it'll be interesting. Enlightening, too. But
like, if you don't know the process, I feel like you shouldn't have a say in it, bro. Like, if you're not openly raising these motherfuckers, like, and not everyone's fucking wealthy and not everyone's poor, you know, but if this is like an American thing where we're always clashing, pro-choice, pro-life, and I don't want to exclude the rest of the world because I don't really know what their thoughts are on it, but I know motherfuckers in America, it's always a clash. And if you're not in this situation, man, then I don't understand how you can talk on it. I really don't. I just don't. I don't understand it.
in the meantime, what they ought to be doing is telling these priests who took a vow of chastity to keep their hands off the altar boys. Keep your hands to yourself, Father. You know? When Jesus said, "Suffer the little children come unto me," that's not what he was talking about. So you know what I tell these anti-abortion people? I say, hey, if you think a fetus is more important than a woman, try getting a fetus to wash the shit stains out of your underwear. For no pay and no pension. I tell them, think of an abortion as term limits. That's all it is. Biological term limits. But you know, the longer you listen to this abortion debate, the more you hear this phrase, sanctity of life. You've heard that, sanctity of life. You believe in it? Personally, I think it's a bunch of shit. Well, I mean, life is sacred? Who said so? God? Hey, if you read history, you realize that God is one of the leading causes of death. Has been for thousands of years. Hindus, Muslims, Jews, Christians, all taking turns killing each other because God told them it was a good idea. The sword of God, the blood of the Lamb, vengeance is mine. Millions of dead motherfuckers. Millions of dead motherfuckers, all because they gave the wrong answer to the God question. You believe in God? No. Dead.
Kill him.
You believe in God? Yes. You believe in my God? No. Dead. My God has a bigger dick than your God.
That's how they are. That's how people are arguing. That's why I don't mess with religion. I know there's a higher power, but I don't know what it is, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But hey, I feel like we reacted to some of that video. It wasn't like one of my other videos. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look. But hey, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Say what's up. Share what you said on your mind. But hey, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Let's get to 800, then 1,000. And let's see where we can go from there. But again, I'll see y'all later. Peace.
Fuck her right in the pussy.